up with a solution that everybody agree but not necessarily complete. Okay? Right, and then number 3, to construct a software architecture. So by the end of this semester, you should know how to design an architecture. Okay, how to design an architecture for a software. Simple. 3 things, 9 chapter. Okay, tak susah. Okay, tak susah. Trust me, my subject is not difficult. So these are the 9 chapter that you are going to explore. Chapter 1, Software Architecture Fundamental. We are going to discuss what actually is software architecture. Then we are going to go to software architecture pattern. Once you know what is architecture, we go straight how to draw an architecture. Right? After that, we go to the second part of the syllabus, which is design. So chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6 are part 2 of the syllabus related to design. Okay? And then chapter 7, chapter 8 and chapter 9 are just complementary topics. Alright, they are not really related to design, but somehow they contribute in order to make sure your design looks nice and beautiful and achieve the target. Okay, I think this is what you want to see. Right, your assignment will start next week until week number 7. There will be part A, which is a group work. It is actually one assignment, but one assignment divided by 2. Okay, so for part A, it's a report actually. It's a software design document. So last semester you wrote software requirement specification document, SRS. So his small brother is called software design document. Inside software design document, there are many chapters. But for this particular project, I'm going to reduce it to only 4 chapters. 2 chapters for part A. You need to draw or you need to construct an architecture for the project that you chose in SRE. Right? So for those who create hotel management system, what will be the architecture for hotel management system? For those who do sales management monitoring system, so what is the best architecture for the sales monitoring system? We are not really going to focus on the drawing. The drawing is only to visualize. It's only to show your decision. But what we are more concerned in this assignment is how do you come to the conclusion that this is the best architecture for your project. There will be some justification needed. We want to see your thought process. We want to see how you think, how you make decision as an architect. Right? If you want to draw, everybody can draw because software architecture is a free flow diagram, meaning that there is no specific rule when you draw an architecture diagram. The issue now is that which architecture that you want to use. So this syllabus focus more on decision making. How do you make the decision? How do you come to the conclusion? The rest will only be supplementary. Right? Then part B is your individual work. There will be 1, 2, 3 diagram, activity diagram, class diagram, and also GUI, a mock GUI for your system. So that will be for your part 2. So both part will be marked during submission. So marks, half of your mark will be given after week 7. Another half of the mark you will get at the end of week 14. Okay, for final exam, we will cover chapter 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So chapter 2 will be tested twice during midterm and also during final exam because chapter 2 is very interesting. Right? Okay? Are we good? Okay, set up for your PC. Nothing much. Vision Paradigm, Star UML, Draw.io. Mr. Rizal, my PC cannot support all of this. Then draw manually, scan and then send it to your Google Drive. Right, so no worries. I'm not going to force you to do anything that you cannot do. Okay? Alright, so by right, draw.io should be okay lah. Okay, that's me. Alright, that is the Google Classroom. I have added all of you, 158 of you, into the chat space. I hope you already received the notification. I tried once, 2023-05. I used Telegram. It's total mess. So I I remove the idea, we go back to Google Space. Okay, so that's where you're going to contact me. Okay, up to that point, any other suggestion for us to make sure the class can run smoothly? Mr. Rizwan, the other lecturer do this, and this. And I feel so happy about it. Want to share? Mr. Rizwan, all the other lecturers don't even give Google Space. I'll be happy to remove that. My life will be much more tenang, much more peace and love. Any idea? Anything you want me to add on? Anything that you think, oh, this can make the class become much more better? Online class.
The time.
Online class. If and only if you want to send a petition to the faculty, right? Go straight to the faculty. Every lecturer will be happy. Don't worry, not only me. Right? But that must come from the students straight to the faculty. We want online class, right? So for now, no online class. Okay. Anything else? Okay, from time to time, if you think, Mr. Rizwan, I want you to improve your style, I want you to do this to improve your style, Mr. Rizwan, your English doesn't reach IELTS 7.0. Can you improve on your pronunciation? Just tell me, no worries. Just tell me, no worries. Alright, but after that, I will mark you for the rest of the semester lah. Okay, we were going to be extra buddy, don't worry. Okay, every lecturer, they have their own principle. So that principle is what we call as teaching philosophy. This first class, I just want to introduce myself. Again, I'm not going to ask you to introduce yourself. I'm a selfish lecturer. So this is my principle. This is something that I create, that I formulate after nearly 20 years of teaching. So this is my principle. Read it and try to interpret it on your own.
Something
It took 1 week training to produce this sentence. I don't know whether that's a waste of money or what. Alright, but this is part of the training all lecturers in Malaysia have to go through to come up with what is their principle. Okay, my principle is easy. We are travelers. I'm a traveler. Just that I happen to have some extra experience compared to you. So I'm inviting you to join me for a new journey starting from today until Friday week 14. Okay? Alright? Along the journey, it's up to you how do you want to interact with me. Let's say if you think that you want to get as many information from me, then feel free to raise your hand, feel free to argue with me, feel free to say what I say is wrong so that we can have a very good academic, full of respect discussion and whatnot. That will be number one. That will be traveler number one, who always have a discussion, have fun, laugh together, eat together, blah blah blah. Then we have another traveler who will just sit quietly, follow the journey, but he will do his own work. For example, Mr. Rizwan, your lecture is so boring, I can learn more in YouTube. My response, feel free not to come to the class. Take the attendance, leave. No, I will not scold you. I will not scold you. Do you want me to take your attendance on your behalf? Fine. I will not scold you, but if you face any problem, come back to me. Mr. Rizwan, I watched this video says something, it contradicts with your lecture note, can you explain? No? Don't diam. Don't just shut up and say, oh, Mr. Rizwan doesn't teach anything. How am I supposed to teach? You decided to leave the class. Fair enough? Right? So if you think you can learn more from books, YouTube, TikTok, is there anyone teach software design in TikTok? We can do that. Brother Jim can become my spokesman. I can write the script, right? So if you decide that will be the best, so no, as I said, I will not curse you. You can just take attendance, then go home. But if you have problem, come back and see me. That's all I'm asking. Come back and discuss it with me. Okay. And then the third one, who doesn't want to come to class, who doesn't want to watch video, YouTube or whatnot, that one also is okay with me. I am willing to see you every semester for repeat. But never blame back your lecturer for your own result. That's another problem. You don't interact with me, you don't like my class, you don't watch YouTube, you don't read books, then suddenly Mr. Rizwan doesn't help me. Not fair. Right. So everything that you decide must come with consequences. So that consequences is something that you must be responsible of. Don't point fingers when something wrong happens. That's all. That's all I'm asking from you. Then at the end of the journey, in week 14, hopefully all of us can be someone different. Meaning that from no one who doesn't know about software design architecture, at least you know something about software design architecture, even just the definition of software design and software architecture. That will be good enough for me. Right? And then you can share that knowledge with other people. So that's what we mean by matured and different people. So that's my principle. So I will not pull you. I will not force you. I will not do anything that you feel like uncomfortable with me. I will not do that because I respect you as a young adult. In return, I require you to respect me as your friend or as your colleague. Okay? Are we good? Good. Okay. So because of that, that's why I said attendance is not something that I'm really concerned of. Okay, ask group 4 to 7. All the attendants are full. Last semester, all attendants are full, so don't worry about attendance. As long as you know what you do, that's all. That's all I'm asking from you. You guys are 19 and 20 years old, so behave like a 19 and 20 years old, not 5 years old kid. Right? That's all. That's all I'm asking from you guys. Boleh? Okay, class rule 9. I have no class rule. Just as long as you don't disturb my class. You want to make jokes, fine, but never raise your voice higher than my voice. That's all. Remember, I'm a selfish lecturer. I want to hear my own voice. Okay? Right, go. Okay, this is most important. Why do you need to be here other than this is the syllabus that you need to follow? Okay, number one, why you need to learn SAD, because this is actually a career. Many people misunderstood. When they learn software engineering, they say, oh, I'm going to end up as a programmer. No, that's a very wrong perception and very wrong misunderstanding. Software engineering offers you different path. Yeah, you may start as a programmer, but if you love requirement analyst, like I told all the other students, if you don't like coding but you like people, then become software analyst, requirement analyst. If you like coding so much, then you become hardcore programmer. After 10 years do coding, you hate code. You like coding but you don't want to do coding, but you don't want to meet people, then become software architect and designer. These positions are available, right? You can become programmer, software analyst, junior analyst, system designer, software architect. These positions are available. So if you plan to redirect your future from pure programmer to something else, then you need to learn every single syllabus in SE properly. For those who like to find a fault, you like to find error. When you read your friend's report, you don't read the report, you search for grammar error. Then that kind of person, I suggest you to become a software tester. Right? Right, you can easily find error in somebody's code. Then you can have a fight. Right. Okay, and then lastly, you become project manager, a person who like to do timetable. Okay, are we good? So that's why you need to learn software analysis and design. That will be number 1. Number 2. Okay, now let's say this is an architect. Okay, this guy is an architect. Alright. So the only question an architect will ask is this: if I have a system where these are the requirements, my question will be, how do I want to arrange all the components in my system properly? That will be question number one. Question number two, what is the best logical structure? Logical structure is also an arrangement. What will be the best structure of my system so that I can achieve the non-functional requirement, NFR? Non-functional requirement. That's it. That two questions. For every architect and designer, these are the only two questions that we ask ourselves every single day. If I develop a hotel management system, there are 5 modules. Each module will be developed into different modules or different components. So how each component can talk to each other. That's all. That's all the decision need to be made by an architect. Right? Because if you produce a good architecture, then you can achieve your NFR. A bad architecture, you cannot achieve your NFR. Functionality requirement is achieved by coding. That's the only way you can achieve functionality requirement. You do code, that's it. Functionality requirement, take. But NFR is different. You cannot get your non-functionality requirement from coding alone. Right? You must have a good structure. How folder A communicate with folder B? If folder A communicate to folder B, can folder B communicate with folder A in by two-way communication? So that is the decision that you need to make. That is an architect and design's work. Right? So you learn this subject so that you can make that decision. This subject is theoretical and fundamental, all about the rules that you need to understand so that at the end of week 14, you can make decision. That's all. Right? You need to learn this so that you can make decision. If I have 4 folders, how do I want to arrange the folder? If I have 4 components, how do I want to arrange the component? The problem with this subject is that all of us are very familiar of putting every single file in one folder. Correct? Or at least a few folders. Right? But you never think about how the folder communicate with each other. Okay, I draw this many times this week. So for those who have seen this diagram, my apology. So let's say I have my app. Okay, let's say this is Windows Explorer. So I have 5 folders. Right? Then when you write your code, then when you check, one file from this folder communicate with one of this folder. One file from this folder communicate with this folder. One file from this folder communicate with this folder. One file from this folder communicate with one file from this folder. Let's say each folder have 20 classes. One class from folder A communicate with one class in folder B, so on and so forth. Okay, let's say, and then you do this. Then people ask you, does this achieve NFR? Let's say your non-functionality requirement, Mr. Rizwan, for this project, I'm targeting for performance, whereby all my transaction must be done within 5 seconds. Okay, after looking at your structure, I ask you, how do you guarantee this will get 5 seconds? How do you want to justify that? I agree. All of us are familiar of putting your code into different folder and then let them communicate. But all this while, do you follow a certain rule in that communication? When you decide that one file from folder C call one file from folder B, do you follow any certain rule, condition, or any kind of fundamental theory? Right? That is the question that you need to answer. So by the end of the week 14, if people ask you that question, you are able to explain. Yes, I make this decision. I decided to take this folder, communicate with this folder because of blah 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 blah. By doing this, it will affect blah 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 blah. Then it will produce 5 seconds. Okay. Welcome to the world of architect. Done. Right, so as I said, this is just a very simple syllabus, so don't worry so much. Just theory, nothing much. Okay? Right, so the aim is this. When people ask you, when the reporter asks you, this guy asks you, you are able to answer and justify. Right? Able to answer and justify. Okay, any questions so far? Oh, I thought I can finish this slide in 1 hour. What else do I need to talk? I thought we were going to finish this. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Group 1, 2, 3? Are we comfortable? Yes, sir. Can you show the class code again? Yes, sure. Anything else? Can you show us the class attendance again? Sure. No problem. Oh, later lah. Tak ada. Next. Any other questions? Come again? Alright, any other thing? Yes.
If the class is like good, right? Is it okay to leave early, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to rush for the bus?
Okay, you don't even have to come, it's okay. As I said, you made the decision. You don't have. Mr. Rizal, I want to go home now. Let's go. Don't disturb the class, that's all. Alright? Let's go. Anything else? You bukan kanak-kanak, you know. That I know tell you what you need to do. Yeah? Anything else? Group 1 to 3? Group 4? Any grudge? Any dissatisfaction so far? Are you good? Okay, before we go to our first lecture, I just want to share with you. I think this is interesting. I think this is funny lah. I think. Again, I am 42 this year, so something that is funny to me may not be funny to you, right? I respond. I think this is funny. I want to play it for you guys. Sige lah.
I just saw this episode.
So I hope that I want the cat who slapped the free rider. That one I like. Alright, the exam part is normal lah, but this the black cat. I hope this is not you lah. Don't worry, this is not you.
My recurring life of
See, everybody are happy, right? So, okay, 10 minutes break, 5 minute break. Then we start with chapter 1.